Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for joining us on this edition of District 79 webinars. I'm Akanke Abdul-Khalik, DTM Akanke, and I'm the District 79 webinar manager. It's a delight to have you all with us this evening, where we're going to talk about website navigation and using TMI's Club Central and District Central. And we also will have a segment in the beginning for members to learn how to log in, and lots of good stuff coming up. So just stay tuned. I want to introduce our trainers for tonight. Our presenters will be DTM Jovette Lopez. She is the immediate past Division A governor. She joined Toastmasters in 2007, and she works as an administrative assistant in the Heart Center of King Faisal Specialist Hospital. She's been there since 2003. As a Toastmaster, as I said, she's the immediate past Division A governor, where she served there from 2014 to 2015. She is the Division PRO, or she was a Division PRO in 2013 and 2014. DTM Jovette also is a member of 4 wonderful clubs. She's a member of Toast of Kamsofil, Riyadh Voice, Riyadh Gems Advanced Club, and the Philicom IT Toastmasters Club, and she served in various capacities there. In those clubs, she's served as club president, vice president of education, vice president of public relation, and vice president of membership. She's a very, very active Toastmaster and an adorable person. Help me say hello to DTM Jovette Lopez. Hi, DTM Jovette, and thank you so much for being our presenter for the English session tonight.
Thank you very much, DTM Akanke, for this wonderful introduction.
And we're going to
good evening to every Toastmasters who are listening tonight.
Awesome. And later we'll have joining us Toastmaster Samer Kamal. I'll introduce him later, but he is the current Division A director. He's going to be conducting the Arabic session, and I'll introduce him when he comes on. I am DTM Akanke Abdul-Khalik, the District 79 webinar manager. I won't say much about myself, except that last year I was the Toastmaster of the Year, and I founded a great, great women's club. They're really wonderful women. The Iran Women's Toastmasters Club, which is the first club for women only in Division M. Okay, great.
Shall I start?
Just a moment, dear. Just let me finish explaining everything, because we lost you and I've been trying to get you back. So let me just finish letting our attendees know what they will do to participate. Okay, so just bear with me just a moment, please. Okay, so now that we have our great DTM Jovette back, we're going to get started in just a moment. But before I do, or before we get started, I want to let you know that there are different ways that you can engage as attendees. First of all, if you have a question, you can raise your hand. Use the hand icon that's on your control panel. When you raise your hand, and I see that some people have already raised their hands, when you raise your hand, I will acknowledge you at an appropriate time, and then I'll open your mic so that you can ask your question or make your comment. Likewise, you can also type a question in the question box. If you don't want to open your mic, or if you don't have a microphone and you're just listening but you want to ask a question, type your question there and I will read your question or your comment, and we will get a response from our presenters. Also, we may have some polling tonight. So if we do, when you see a poll come on your screen, you'll have 30 seconds to respond to the poll. And once the polling is closed, I will launch the results so that we can all see the results of the polling. And that's pretty much it for my introduction. So now what we're going to do is turn it over to DTM Jovette. I'm going to make her the presenter so that she can get started with the session. DTM Jovette, I'm coming over to you. You should get a notification on your screen that I want to switch over to you. DTM Jovette, there you go. Wonderful. So we can see your screen and you can go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so you can go ahead and start, dear.
Thank you very much, DTM Akanke. Good evening to every Toastmasters who are listening tonight, and welcome to TMI Webinar Navigation, or TMI Website Navigation. To go to Toastmasters International website, just go to www.toastmasters.org and you will be led into this screen that you are seeing right now. If you are a first-time user, your email address that you are registered in Toastmasters International is your actual username for the website. But if you are a non-Toastmaster and you're a guest visiting without logging into the website, you will be able to access some of the tabs of the Toastmasters International website. Before we log in, I'll show up to you some of the tabs that you will be able to find in about Toastmasters International. You can see there are 7 tabs here on top. The Toastmasters tab, which is tells about the Toastmasters history and everything about Toastmasters, the board of directors, the World Championship of Public Speaking, and the history of Toastmasters International. The second tab here talks about the membership. It has the Toastmasters journey, where you can see here when you click into it some of the accounts that you would need to know about Toastmasters and what Toastmasters can actually do for you, and how to choose a club. Underneath, you will even see the Find a Club near you. Going back to membership tab, we also can find here, if you're a first-time user or if you're an officer, you will actually be able to show to your new members the Toastmasters video of a typical Toastmasters meeting. So it is like having a virtual visit to a Toastmasters club. So this is a very good part of this membership tab where you can tell to your first timers and to your guests what is Toastmasters in a nutshell. There are also part here in the membership where you can see the how you can sponsor a club, how you can start a new club, and the facts for first timers, and even the member testimonials. In the third tab of the Toastmasters website is the resources. These are the materials that you can use to in your programs, in your educational session, especially here when you see the library, resource library here. You could actually find here and type the keywords that you're looking for. For instance, you want to find the branding manual, you want to find an application or form, or any advertisements that you can utilize to your respective clubs. So in the resources, you can also see the library and the Revitalize Education program. Next is the magazine. If you are a member, you will be able, and you are logged in, you are able to see the latest Toastmasters magazine or the latest issue of the Toastmasters magazine. However, if you're not logged in, you will still be able to see the articles that are featured in the Toastmasters magazine here under the magazine tab. And you can also submit any write-ups and testimonials or letters, photos and videos to the Toastmasters magazine. Now we have here the events tab where you can see the past and the future, present and future conventions and the actual annual business meeting that we have done. And if you have, and this leadership central is where most of the officers' role and tasks are being done in this leadership central tab. But later on, we'll tell you all about one by one because this is a big topic to talk about, and we have to log in order to access the Club Central and District Central. Now, you can also see here the shop of Toastmasters International, where you can buy stuffs from the Toastmasters website, the manuals, the ribbons, awards, certificates, and any purchase that you would want for your club, for yourself, for the district. And there is also the last tab on the right side, which is My Toastmasters. If you are logged in, you'll be able to see here your profile. Now, let's begin with logging in. If you are a first-time user of a Toastmasters website, the username will be your registered email. In the event that you don't know your password, of course, because this is your first time, you can always click on Forgot Password and put your email address on it. And make sure that you'll check your email for the code that will be sent to your email. So I'm gonna go back and log in. So now I receive the notification in my email, and I'm now putting on the password. And later on, you can change this temporary password that is sent to your email address. So now, when you are logged in, you will see here welcome note for you and with your first name. Now, to begin, let's start first with the Leadership Central, especially for our viewers who are officers. If you are an officer, you have an access to the Club Central. If you are a club officer in your club, any club officer has an access to the Club Central. You will be seeing here the list of the clubs wherein you are an officer. For now, I'm an officer of 3 clubs, so I could see here 3 clubs. And to conduct club business, you just have to click on that club that you would like to do the business. For instance, we go to Riyadh Voice Toastmasters Club here. And you will be seeing here the conduct club business, says the club number and the club name. Under the conduct the club business, you will see here different categories of the things that you could do as an officer. As an officer, you can submit a membership application of a new member, a dual member, or a reinstated member. To do that, we'll just have to give you a sample on how to do that, but we're not going to proceed to the payment. So how do you register a new member? Usually, it's the treasurer or vice president of membership who register a member, but any officer has an access, so they could cover for each other to doing the membership submission. Now let's just make up a name here, just for an example. Let's say we'll put Johnny, and then just say H, and the last name would be Lopez. So if you don't have an email address, for instance, this is his email address. of that new member. If he or she is a dual member, automatically it will there will be a name that will appear there with the customer number or the Toastmasters ID of that person. But if that person is a new member, then this you will see on your screen that the TI or the Toastmasters International were not able to locate that. So you will have to create the membership application. So as you can see here, this is how you add a new member. Just put all the details here, contact information, and just add membership. When you all finish doing this, it will go to the next page, which is to pay the membership of that person. And you will see there the $20 for being a new member and the $36 for 6 months. 6 months membership fee. However, we're not going to proceed further because we're not going to register a new member at this time. So I'm just showing up to you how to add a new member. So we'll go back to the Club Central. So seems that okay. So we go back again to Leadership Central.
DTM Javette, we'll just take a pause quickly to see if there are any questions on what you've done so far. So give me just a moment to check the question box and see if there are any hands raised. There's a hand raised by Toastmaster Doha. Toastmaster Doha, I'm going to open your mic so that you can
Okay, Toastmaster Akanke, are there any questions so far?
Yeah, I'm checking now. Toastmaster Doha, your mic is open. Do you have a question?
I
Yes,
can't
please.
hear you well.
Okay, go ahead, Toastmaster Doha.
Are you able
please?
Sorry, dear. 1 second, Toastmaster Doha. We're having a problem with DTM Javette now. DTM Javette, can you hear me?
Go ahead, TM.
Oh,
I can hear you now.
okay. So we have a question from someone who's attending. Her name is Toastmaster Doha. Toastmaster Doha, go ahead, dear.
Could you please repeat the password? How can I reset my password?
Okay, sure. Thank you so much for your question. She's asking for if you can you're welcome. She's asking if you can tell her again how to reset her password.
Okay, do you want to show it up again? Okay, thank you for that question. So I'm going to log out again. And here in Toastmasters website, you will find here login. And it will lead you to the login page. You have to put the username as your email address that you are registered to. That is the email address that you provided to your membership application form and that was submitted to your vice president membership or treasurer when they registered you in Toastmasters. So
Okay.
you just have to click forgot password and again enter your email address and you will receive the new password or a temporary password in your email. So for instance, I have done it already. So I will log in to the website using the temporary password that I receive in my email address.
And just for clarification, DTM Jovette, I'd like to say something if you don't mind. When they first go to the login page, they don't have to actually enter their username or their email address on the first screen. If they've forgotten their password or if it's their first time, they go immediately to forgot your password. And then that's where they will actually enter their email address.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Sure.
Toastmaster Akanke
Sure.
for adding that. So you can you can immediately go to forgot your password, and you can enter the email address, and a temporary password will be given in your email. Is that clear to Toastmaster
Yes, that's very clear. I'm sure.
Noha or Noha?
Yes, it's fine, dear. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, shall we proceed?
Yes, please.
Let me go back again to the Leadership Central. So I've shown you how to go to the Club Central if you are an officer. You have an access to the club business or to conduct a club business for your club. So a while ago, I've shown you how to submit a membership application for new dual or reinstated member, but we just did not go further to pay them. Now, you can also pay for the dues of your members. You just have to put here in the future, and the list of the members will actually appear here. In this club, we could see that there are some Toastmasters who are graced members, meaning that they haven't been paid for their renewal fees. So if you will actually pay for one of them and they actually renewed their fees, you can submit it and pay it using the card details here and process the payment. So this is how you pay the dues for the club members. And then let's go back again to the club business. You can also update your club meeting information. For those Toastmasters Club that would like to change their club name, for instance, one of our we had experience last time because this club Riyadh Voice was actually initially named KFSHRC Voice. We only changed the club name through this part of the Club Central, and we were able to process it, and they have notified us that it has been changed. So they will also, if you will see here, that any change to the club name or city will be as a resolution to the addendum of a standard club options and records to the world quarter. So the headquarters will be informing you that they have changed your club name if ever. You can change the contact persons here and also add the website meeting information if you have changed your timings or your days or actual place or venue of your club. You can also see here if you'd like to update your map location and change the officer term. If you want to have the election term with half-year terms or biannual term. And you will see here the charter date and so on. Let's go back to the Club Central. You can also see here the club receipts that were made by your club. So whoever paid on behalf of your members and or pay something for your for shopping under your club name, it will be shown in this one. But most of the time, you will be seeing the renewals of membership here. So the receipts are there, and it's just taking time to show up. Basically, you will just see the list of the Toastmasters who paid the renewals and when it was paid. Like for instance, you want to see the receipts that you've done or the that your club did from 2015 to 2016. So you will see here how much the amount on what was the payment method and who are your members who actually did the payments. You can also view receipts here, like see here, for any club receipts that you have done. Okay, so you can export it as an Excel so that you can keep a record for your file. Now you can also update your club officer information here. So at this time, this club have already submitted their officers for the current term. In the event that you'd like to replace or change the name of a Toastmaster, that can also be done. So you can actually do it in this part. And you can also print the roster and it will be saved as an Excel format. So we will now go to the club mailing address. You can also change your club mailing address if your club will receive any materials. So at this time we are having it to one of our members who's one of our officers. So you can change it also from this tab. Now, there is a part here where you can actually submit the education awards for the club members, except for yourself. If you're using your own login, you cannot submit an educational award for yourself. So, when you submit an education award for your club member, for instance, we have here one, like for here, my name is highlighted in gray, so I cannot click it and I cannot submit any education award for myself. Let's try one name. For instance, we click on one name and you want to apply his competent communicator award. So you have to put in here, if you put his email address, and if the member wish to receive a recognition letter for his or her employer. So we'll just do it and not continue, just to show you how it is being done. Usually this is done by the Vice President of Education. So you can see here now that you have to enter the speech titles for the 10 speech projects and the date that it was completed. So you have also to check with the member what are the 2 free manuals or the advanced manual that he or she prefers. So if you click that, there are advanced manuals here and you can just have to click it according to the preference of that Toastmaster. So since we're not going to complete the record for this specific Toastmaster, we'll go back here. You can also submit the leadership award here. And let's go back now to the club roster. One of the most important parts, especially for the vice president membership, is to make sure that the membership roster is updated. So you will see here the ID number or the Toastmaster ID of your members, their address, You can even edit their address and contact information here. For instance, they have moved from one city to another and they are still paid and they would like to have their magazine still be received. You can actually edit their address here. And you would see here if they are active. It means they are paid for the duration of 6 months. You can actually export this file to Excel. So when you click it, it's saved automatically as an Excel file. And you can use this as your record even if you are offline. Okay, so this is the club membership roster. So as you can see here, we tried to export the roster. And it automatically have the columns that were shown in the website. So you can actually save this for your records. So let us now close it. Now we have here also the update. If you have any update to your club options, and you have your club awards. If your club have been distinguished, it will be shown here. Or if you have your membership building programs award, you will actually see if you have received it on which years. Going back, we also have the DCP reports. So as you can see here, when you click the DCP report, it goes to the dashboard. So that's one way of going to the dashboard of the Toastmasters International, or actually going here in Leadership Central and clicking Distinguished Performance Reports. Actually, you can also access the Distinguished Performance Reports even if you're not logged in Toastmasters International. And last among the Club Central is the wire transfer instructions for Toastmasters who would wire their payments to Toastmasters International instead of doing it by Visa card. So this is the instruction. Okay. Now for
DTM Jovette,
club officers, you can see here the tools that you would need as an officers. The logo.
Can you hear me, DTM Jovette?
Hello?
Yes, dear.
Yes.
We have a question. Let's take a question from the question box. Let me just grab them.
Go ahead.
From Toastmaster Hind, thank you for your questions. She's asking, will training be affected by changing the election term? That question is not clear, Toastmaster Hind. Is that clear to you, DTM Jovette? She says, will training be affected by changing the election term? For example, for the distinguished program, 2 trainings are required. So if it's 1 year, do we still have to go to the training twice like new officers?
Okay, your voice is not clear. Can I repeat the question if I get it right? The question was, if you are an officer and your club conducts only the officership annually, they're asking if they need to go to club officers training twice in a year. Is that correct, Toastmaster Akanke?
I'm not clear what the question is. I can open her mic so that she can ask it. It says, will training be affected by changing the election term? And then she explained it as I mentioned earlier. For example, for the Distinguished Club program, 2 trainings are required. So if it's 1 year, do we still have to go to training twice like new officers? Training is required twice a year. The answer to that part I know is yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes, it is. So,
yes.
but I'm not sure what she meant by will training be affected by changing the
So,
election term. So, Toastmaster Hen, did we answer your question for you? Please let us know by typing something in the window. Okay, great. She said yes. And she
okay.
has another question. Can we change the PO box for all members with one click, or do we have to individually do it since our sponsor offers a unified address? Ah, okay. Well, go ahead and answer that. She wants to know if you can change the PO box for
Thank you,
all members.
Toastmaster Heen. Using the club membership roster, you can change the club mailing address, but most of the time this update your club mailing address. The materials that they send here are, for instance, the ribbons of the clubs and the manuals for officers. However, if you would like to change the membership roster, or your members have only one PO box, other than typing everything, like editing it one by one, you may want to email the toastmasters.org, the membership at toastmasters.org, to change for you the address of your members to specific PO box if they are all unified. I hope it's okay. Did you get it,
Yes, she said okay. Thanks.
Toastmaster Hin?
Yes, she said thanks. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Hello?
Yes, you can continue, DTM Javette. She said you answered her question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Now you can also see here the speech contest materials that you will need for your contest. The rule book, the resources for conducting quality speech contest. Under the Leadership Central, you will also see the branding portal, the logos, images, and templates that you can utilize. You can also see it under the resource library here for the materials that you will in your club. Now, as you go along and become a district officer, that means if you are an area governor, division governor, or district officer, you will have a district central access. Since I don't have an access, you will be denied if you are not one. To give you a brief information on that, our Division A director, with his permission, have given us his access for District Central. So I'm gonna log in using his username and password. So for now, this is just for demo purposes and he will just change it. So now Toastmaster Summer is a district officer, so he's a division director. So if you are an officer other than the club, you have an access to the district central. This is like conducting a club business. So here you can see that he has an access for District 79. You can they as directors can submit area director club visit report. The reason that we are showing this even to club officers and members, so that you will be able to know why the area directors are visiting the club. So if you will see here, just to have a brief information, the area directors are visiting each club twice a year. Let's say an area director visited a club, for instance, Toast of Comsoville. As a club officer, you should also help your area director accomplish this. So you will have the first impressions that he or the area director will be seeing during his club visit in your club, and how you conduct your membership orientation. So it is like an assessment of how you're doing well in the 6 months period. Under the area visit, there's also different categories like, here the fellowship, variety and communication, the program planning, and how your meeting is organized. And also, if your club have 20 or more members, and how do you recognize the achievement of each member? So at least being an officer or member, you would know how you would make your club even better. And here is also a DCP, a preview, an overview of your DCP. So you would actually submit names to your area director if you have actually met having 2 CCs, or if you're trying to target it. And hello?
Yes, go ahead, dear.
So these are the yeah. So these are the DCP status that you can submit or one as part of the area director's visit. So this is the district central. So let's go back to district central. So that's the highlight of the district's central. And of course, if you're a district officer, you have an access to all the club officers' names, emails, and address, which can be saved as an Excel file also. You also have the list of all members for your division or for which division that you are serving. And here they are the only ones who can actually enter if the officers attended the club officers training that was hosted by the division or the district. So you will see here that they are reporting here the various clubs and the leaders or officers who have attended the trainings between December 1 to February 29. So if your club members or officers were not able to attend these trainings, a make-up session can be done and you have to report it to your division or area director. You'll also see here the prospective clubs and the district awards. And these are part of the Leadership Central. Now, let me highlight here first that if you are logged in as a Toastmaster, you have a profile here. For now, we are using Toastmaster Summers login. So you will see here, can show to your member, you can actually edit the photo and upload any photo that you would like. Edit your contact information. And you'll see here your membership, joining date, the clubs that you are in, to change your account details and passwords, and what are your orders that you have done in the Toastmaster shop. Below is are the education awards. If you click them, you will see what are your awards and when you have actually received it. But at this point, it's not displaying properly. The membership building awards, if you have sponsored any members and the date. So when you register members, make sure that they put your name as their sponsors so that it will be recorded here. You will also see here if you have served as officers in various clubs and the start and end date. Your membership history to which club, since he has a lot of clubs here, so it's all listed here. Sponsorship history, if you have actually sponsored a club or a member. So you can track it down here and your orders. So you will see here what are your orders. Now we'll go to the distinguished performance reports, or these are the dashboard that we are saying. Even if you're not logged in, you'll be able to access here it. Now, you have to be familiar that District 79, Saudi Arabia, is under Region 11. So you have to click on District 79 to actually see the reports of the district. You'll see here 3 tabs. This is the overall district performance. You will see here the paid clubs, the payments, and the distinguished club. There are graphs here that you can open and expand and collapse. So these are the clubs under the Division A. You can expand and collapse it. And these, you can actually click on the name of the club and you will see their club status. Here we have clicked Create Toastmasters Club here. So we'll go back. Now you will see here the membership payments of each club in the division. How many are the members? And you have here the division and area performance. In here you will see the goals of the division and the area. You will see here D, S, and P. It stands for Distinguish, Select Distinguish, and President Distinguish. So this is the division goal in order to become Distinguished or President Distinguished. So you will see here there's the base club of the Division A. And in the area, it also goes the same. You will see here on each tab the areas of the whole district and the division of each district. You would know which area belongs to which division. And to know the status of the club, you will see it under the club performance. And they will show you here the membership and the actual DCP goals or points of each club in the District 79. So you can actually. Now to learn more on this, you can have the dashboard guide here. And this, if you click here, it will be saved as a PDF format. So you would go back if you have some problems in the future and you can just go back and how to navigate this part. Another good part of this dashboard is you would also hear the in here, you will also see the daily reports. The daily reports includes the dues or the renewal status of each club, the club officers list if it has been submitted. So here, let's go first to dues renewals here. You can see here that the status of division, the divisions here, and if they have verified their renewal status, meaning that if the club have renewed at least 8 or more, or the base members to be in good standing, being a renewed club. You can even click the division to have it, to arrange it chronologically, or when by division, I mean. Now you can change the reports here. So now we are in District 79. Other than going back to the back button, you can have here other reports like the October dues renewals, which goes the same. And here, the January club officers list status, meaning if you have already input the new list of officers. So you will see here which club have listed already their officers and their lists were not yet received. So they can track it here. July. Now you can see here if you would like to verify if your members have actually achieved their or submitted their educational awards, you can check it here if they have or if the Toastmasters International processed already their awards of your respective members. So you can also click here to navigate. So you will see here the awardees, the names, the clubs, and the location. Now we have here also the Triple Crown Awards. These are the Toastmasters who have received awards more than 3 or more awards in the whole district. So these are different reports that you could see here. You can also see if there are new clubs, the prospective clubs. So these are clubs that are not yet actually chartered and is still on process. You will see here also the sponsors and mentors of new clubs and the club coaches. So you have now an idea that our dashboard contains a lot of reports that you may actually be interested to know. And if your members have questions, then you can just verify it through our dashboards. So far, we have covered the dashboard part. We have here also additional reports wherein you can go again to District 79 and you will see here the area to do's. That means you will see in order for the division to be distinguished and your area, you have to be having these goals. So you would know, and you have the reports The almost distinguished clubs are the clubs with the goals here. Some are not met. So they are listing that 4 plus DCP goals or needing more members to be distinguished. So they are also listing it here. And also the division governor dashboard. So you would know the actual numbers or the status of the clubs in the and areas in the division. So these are reports that are available for all members even if you're not logged in. Well, at this juncture, are there any more questions you'd like to? Hello?
Yes. Hi, DTM Javette. Thank you so much for taking us through all of those various aspects of navigating the website. We do have a couple of questions. Let me see here. Is it possible to edit the name of a member? Toastmaster Sithi is asking this question. Is it possible to edit the name of a member? He says he or she, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. But Toastmaster Sithi said that they tried to edit it and could not edit the contact information for the name for a member.
Thank you, Toastmaster City, for that question. We have experienced that in our club. There's no way to edit the Toastmaster's name using the Club Central. However, you have to take note of the Toastmaster's ID of that person and email the Toastmasters International. You can email membership at toastmasters.org to change or rectify the name of that person. Because in our club, we have experienced that the first name of our member was switched to her last name. So her certificates are always wrong. So they had changed it and they even changed the certificate at a later time. So there's no way to do it through the website, but you have to email Toastmasters International to change a member's name.
Great. Thank you so much, DTM Javed. It's 8:31 now. We need to transition to our Arabic session.
Yes.
And I want to thank you so much for taking time to take us through the various aspects of navigating through the website. It was very informative. I learned some new things, and I'm sure that our attendees did as well. We do have one last question in the box. It's asking how to get information about the district officers. Is that information available on the TMI website, or is that something they have to get directly from their area or division governor in terms of getting information about district officers? She's asking particularly about if she needs to get in touch with the finance manager for reimbursement. Is that information available online?
The District 79, they don't list the officers of the district here in our website. You can also only access, if you are a division or area director, you have only an access to the club officers of your respective area or division. Now, the Toastmasters, the District 79 has its own list of officers, and usually it's being circulated to the division governors. So if you need any information on that, you can ask your club officers or your area directors to have an access on that and to actually get the email address of, for instance, the finance director that they are looking for.
Yes, and thank you so much, DTM Jovet. We really, really appreciate it. If you understand Arabic or can speak a little Arabic, you're welcome to hang around. But if you have to go because you can't do either of those things, then we thank you again and wish you a
I'll
wonderful
be
evening.
around, Toastmaster.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you have learned something.
Thank you so much. And I'm just going to mute